Okay, so today we're going to look at comparatives in the negative form, and that is not as. So for example, here we have friendlier. This is a comparative. And we have he is friendlier than his brother. So we could make this a negative. We could just say his brother is not as friendly as him. So not as friendly as, this is the opposite of friendlier. Or we have older. England is older than Canada. That just means that Canada is not as old as England. Canada is not as old as England. Or here we have more difficult. Writing is more difficult than reading. Or we could say reading is not as difficult as writing. All right, so we're going to look at another special case. Sometimes we actually don't say the second as, and we're going to look at when. So here, let me go ahead and change this to white actually. It's kind of a crazy color. 1 second here. Okay, so here we have the second as we're not going to say. Now, for example, Tom is better looking than Bill, but he is not as smart. So notice we don't say as Bill, right? Because we already said Bill one time. So if we already know what's being compared, we sometimes only use one as. So for example, here we have San Diego is similar to Los Angeles, but just not as big. So we don't say as Los Angeles because we already mentioned it here. We already said it one time. Or how about this one? Yogurt is just as delicious as ice cream, but not as fattening. So we don't have to say as because we already know we're talking about ice cream. All right, so let's do some problems. So there you go. There's your 2-minute instruction, 2 minutes of instruction. So let's see if you can get these correct. The first one is gold is more precious than silver. Gold is more precious than silver. So that means that silver is dun, 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 not as precious as gold. So gold is more precious than silver. That means silver is not as precious. Oh, excuse me. Let me go and put that there. Not as precious as gold. How about this one? Water is heavier than air. So we would change that to air is not as heavy as water. Air is not as heavy as water. So that would be the opposite. How about this one? We have faster. Horses are faster than cows. That is definitely true. So we could say cows are not as fast as horses. Cows are definitely not as fast as horses. Okay, the last one, the trick one. Rugby is older than soccer, but popular. But not as popular. And we don't have to say as, right? As soccer because we already mentioned it once. And that's it. That's your lesson for the day. I hope it helped. I hope this lesson makes you better informed and you are not as confused as before. Thanks.